Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Zach, the Celtics guy. I'm back with another video here. I know it's been a while since I've regularly uploaded. Hope you all enjoyed the video about my book collection. But I'm gonna dive into some more topics about like shit that's been going on in the world and whatnot. I definitely have a lot of stuff in that regard that I'm going to be talking about. And there's one thing I've been meaning to talk about for a while but haven't gotten the chance to. So, I'm going to be talking about an issue that happened a while ago, but I would say it's pretty relevant. I would say it's kind of sort of relevant, and I'll explain the reason why it's relevant despite the fact that it happened a long time ago. So, there's this woman, and I forget how her name is pronounced. I know it, Catherine Kieu or something, or I don't know, something like that. She was convicted of in 2013. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding here. She cut her husband's penis off. Yes, I'm not joking. And she was convicted and was sentenced to life in prison in 2013 in California, and she is eligible for parole in 7 years. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been reading a lot of shit going on with this whole thing. It's been circulating around the internet for a while, and it's gonna be 7 years in June, I think, or July or something. So that'll be 7 years. So that means that this fucking bitch is up for parole soon, and she could be out of prison as early as June or July. Like, oh my god, I can't, I just can't even believe the whole thing. And my question is, why is she eligible for parole? Why is she eligible for parole is my question. Why didn't they just give her life without parole? Her husband got a life sentence, right? Her husband got a life sentence, so shouldn't this fucking evil piece of shit? I'm sorry, did this destroyed this guy's life. This is permanent damage. The victim got a life sentence, so shouldn't the victim. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, no, you like, a lot of people know me for being creative and everything else, but all this other shit, but no, you can't make this shit up. And I know that that's not really what this is about, but... And she basically was saying that her husband deserved it, and her husband deserved it. Like, oh, okay. Why? Because he filed a divorce against you? Now, see, that's what the whole thing was about. And I'm going to go and I'm going to dive into the details. I actually found a few news videos about it, and I even found her ex-husband's statement. And her ex-husband, who actually got his thing cut off by her, isn't named for legal reasons, so we don't know what his name is. We don't know what his name is. But whoever this man is, I feel so bad for him. I really do. This is disgusting. This is horrible. And if this fucking bitch gets parole, that's going to be a stain on this man's life. Because if this scumbag is able to walk free after destroying his life, this will be an injustice to this man. Seriously, this will be an injustice. So basically, it says that Catherine Kieu, born in 1962, 2 or 3, is an American woman who was convicted of aggravated torture and mayhem in 2013 for mutilating her husband's genitalia. The couple had been in the process of getting a divorce, but had continued to share their condominium. During the trial, the prosecution argued that Kieu assaulted her husband because he had reestablished a relationship with an ex-girlfriend of his. The defense argued it was because of sexual and emotional abuse. Okay, as somebody who went through both sexual, physical, and mental abuse, I can tell you right now that that is one of the fucking dumbest excuses. One of the dumbest excuses that I've ever heard in my life. Okay? Okay, and look, this is a consistent pattern here. I am so sick and tired of people using their mental issues as an excuse to do fucking horrible things to people. It's getting old to read this over and over and over and over and over again. To see people make these excuses that it was because of this or it was because of that. No, I don't believe it was because of any issues. I believe because she was jealous and she's a narcissist. She's definitely a narcissist because it's all about her. It's all about her and in her fucking fucked up mind, it's all about her. She thought her husband deserved it. She thought he deserved it because he said, all right, I'm done with you. And who knows how she was behind closed doors. You know, she could have been abusive. And look, I know, like, this doesn't get covered a lot, but I'll tell you right now, there are so many times, I'm sure, that go on of women abusing men, but it doesn't get covered in the media because, you know, I mean, of course, what to expect with our media and bullshit like that. Because she was jealous. That's clearly what it all comes down to. I'm going to link a bunch of these in the description here, and I'm going to do all that. So here's what the article says here, from, let's see, June 28th, 2013. So that means this fucking bitch could be up for parole in June 28th. So in like 2 months from now. I pray to God that California does not give her parole. Because if they do, will be an injustice. Because in a world that makes sense, with a legal system that makes sense, this fucking bitch will be in prison the rest of her fucking life. And I hope they keep her in prison for life. A Garden Grove, California woman convicted of cutting off her ex-husband's penis with a 10-inch kitchen knife, then throwing it in the garbage disposal, Jesus fucking Christ, was sentenced Friday to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 7 years. Catherine Kieu, 50, was convicted in the July 2011 attack in which prosecutors said she drugged her ex-husband's meal with a sleep aid, then severed his penis with a knife after tying him to a bed. Jesus fucking Christ. She then mutilated the penis by throwing it in the garbage disposal. Humanity is fucked. The victim was in court for Friday's sentencing, and he said, quote, "I'm hoping this will be the last time I ever have to see her," he said. "I felt some relief, and it was a very sad day for me." Kieu was convicted of aggravated mayhem, maliciously depriving a human of a body part, and torture. Kieu has been convicted since the attack. She received a sentence of 7 years to life in prison, meaning she'll be eligible for parole in 7 years. And that is true. Because we all like to think of mayhem as like, mayhem is chaos and all this other shit. But no, mayhem is an actual crime. I'm actually going to link that in the description too. And I actually learned this. I actually studied this in some of my like legal classes I've taken in college and whatnot. I've taken legal classes in high school. I've taken legal classes in college because the law has actually been an interest of mine for a while. But then it was like I was kind of like, mental health. I was also very interested in mental health, but I was also interested in law too. So I took a lot of law classes. But then I kind of gravitated more towards mental health as the years passed. So, but anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, what I learned is that true. Mayhem comes from the old English term of maiming someone. So like mayhem is an intentional crime where you cut someone's eye out, their ear off, slit their eye, their ears, their nose, their throat, cut off someone's finger, cut off someone's foot, their toe, their whatever. In this case, yeah, cutting someone's dick off. Yeah, that would be mayhem. Because mayhem it's just a crime of maiming or mutilating someone. Even like just basically any injury that's not minor, any injury that's permanent, that was committed with an intent to maim someone, would be mayhem. It's basically an Old English common law offense. like, from the Old English common law. Like, just like the old English law, like mayhem was originally a crime where you would render someone defenseless in fight or battle. But I guess later it's been extended in many Anglo-Saxon countries, including the U.S., to include like, slitting someone's eye, their ear, their nose, their whatever part of the body, or just causing a permanent injury. I mean, that type of a crime should get life in prison, especially if the injury is permanent. Like in this case, this is a perfect example of where it should be life in prison. Anything less than life in prison for the crime of mayhem is too lenient. Because this is a crime that destroys lives. Yeah, it's not a crime you hear about very often, because a lot of people don't know what the word mayhem means. People think, oh yeah, mayhem is chaos or whatever. But no, it actually consists of intentionally mutilating someone. It's listen, the people who do this are fucking horrible fucking people, and they deserve to be fucking burned and buried alive. They deserve to be buried, okay? They deserve to be buried 6 feet under the fucking ground. They deserve every fucking horrible fucking thing that comes to them. And anything less than life in prison for this would be too lenient. Like, anybody that does commit mayhem against someone or intentionally mutilate someone is a fucking horrible, horrible, horrible fucking person. They deserve to be buried. They deserve every bad thing that comes their way. Because the victim got a life sentence, so shouldn't them. Because they don't care, okay? Because they're fucked up in the head. They don't care. That's why people do this shit. And it's not even because they have a mental condition. They just do it because they're just fucking evil. They're just horrible. They're fucked up in the head. You don't have to have a mental condition to be screwed up in the head to do something like this. You just have to be a very, very fucking evil, horrible person with no morals or no standards and no conscience. Has nothing to do with your mental state. Get the fuck out of here with this shit, okay? And as someone who studied in the mental health field and works in the mental health field, I can say that from a mental health perspective. And I can even say that from a human perspective. That it doesn't even take a mental health person to figure out that, yeah, a person who intentionally mutilates someone is a fucked up human being. Yeah, they're screwed up in the head. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take that much to figure that out. Okay? So anyway, let me get back to this article. I apologize for the slight tangent there. In effect, the victim is going... and look, here's the thing. Here's what the District Attorney's Office of Orange County said. Quote, "This was a horrible event," said John Crystal of the Orange County's District Attorney's Office. Quote, "In effect, the victim is going to be serving a life sentence because of what the defendant did to him. She in turn deserves her life sentence." End quote. That's exactly right. I've been saying that all along. Kieu still resides at the man's Garden Grove residence at the time. She called 911 to report a medical emergency, and responding officers found the man tied to the bed, according to investigators. The victim was hospitalized, but reconstructive surgery was not successful. Quote, I remember the event. It's not cohesive because of the shock, the trauma, the torture," he said. "There may be a situation where I can become happy. Whole? Never. The judge in the case said during the sentencing phase that the interest of justice would not be served by granting probation." Fuck no! "In my 24 years on the bench, I've seen a number of murder cases," said Judge Richard F. Toohey. "Her actions were as calculated, as cold, and callous as any murder in the first degree." I agree 100% with that. Prosecutors argued that Kieu refused to accept her husband's demand for a divorce and carried out the attack as part of a revenge plot. The attack occurred about 2 months after her husband filed for divorce. "I don't think she wanted to get divorced. That's what it come down to," said the victim, identified in court documents as Glenn. As far as the reason for it, she was adamant. Maybe this is her way. The man made a victim's impact statement at Friday's sentencing, during which he thanked prosecutors, investigators, doctors, friends, and family. He said the couple had issues and that he didn't want to force her out of the house because she was having financial problems. Yeah, because the guy's an actual human being. Because maybe he cared. I don't know. Something like that. "I never saw it coming. Not in a million years," he said. "She betrayed my trust in people. My right to the pursuit of happiness has been robbed. She took that thing right from me that night." This was a cruel and calculated violation of a person's body and mind. He told reporters outside the courtroom that he was hoping for a stronger sentence. Yeah, she deserves life without parole. And you know what? Even if she got the death sentence, I would not be opposed to that. In fact, I think that would actually be justice being done. Because, think about it. This guy will never be allowed. This guy will never be able to have sex or have it do anything pleasurable in his sex life ever again. He got his life taken from him. Okay? He has to live with this. Think of it that way. This is something that he's going to have to live with for the rest of his life. And I know that Catherine Kieu, I know you fucking bitch. I know you're never going to admit this. I mean, we all know you did it. I know we all know you're probably never going to admit it. I'm sure you're never going to admit it in your parole hearing that you're going to get as early as June. Jesus fucking Christ. Bitch, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm glad you're fucking in prison. I hope you're in prison the rest of your fucking miserable life. You deserve to rot in fucking prison the rest of your life, and you deserve every fucking bad thing coming your way. If there is a fucking hell, I hope you fucking rot in it, bitch. Fucking piece of shit. Now, why isn't this getting more coverage is what I'm wondering, but whatever. I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but anyway, here's the audio of the ex-husband's statement. I'm going to play this here. I'm going to play the clip, and I'll link it in the description as well. I've actually never listened to this before. I've actually found this for the very first time. I'm not even kidding. All right, let's play this. I've rambled long enough.
I am still at a loss, confronted with the hatred and severity of the crime. I never saw it coming. Not in a million years. Yes, I knew there were issues between the convicted and me, issues that would never be resolved. But to end things like this, never. Up until the crime, I still liked and had respect for the convicted. I felt for her. I didn't want to force her out of the house. She was having trouble financially, and making arrangements to move out was not an easy matter. But we did need to move on. I look back on the trial and how the defense fabricated their arguments at my expense. How lies about me and my life spewed into the courtroom and seeped into the press. The convicted viciously deprived me of part of my life and identity. Then, as is routine in cases of violence that involve something sexual, the victim must endure at the hands of defense a second attack. That hurt. I never had sex with her or anyone else in the last 7 months before the crime. There was no evidence of abuse found on the recorders that the convicted hid around the house, in her purse, and in my car. What I told was the truth. I never laid a hand on her, never hit her, never punched her, never forced her to do anything that made her uncomfortable, never called her names, nor have I done this to any other woman in my life. Of all the friends, family, and neighbors that we encountered, no one saw any bruises or cut lips or black eyes or heard name calling. If I had hurt her, why would she have wanted to stay with me? Why would she want to...
That's actually very true, because if you think of it that way, she wanted to stay with him. She wanted to control his fucking life. She wanted to control his life. So if she was being so abused like by him and everything else, she would, whatever. She would have taken some other kind of action. She would have done something. She would have stood up for herself. She would have did something, but she didn't. Because she's fabricating. She's trying to make herself look like the fucking victim. Because it's narcissist. Because she's a fucking narcissist. And judging by this guy's voice, I don't know what he looks like or whatever, but just from what he's saying, he doesn't sound like the type of person that would hurt a fly.
And the marriage. Why would she not confide in anyone about some type of abuse?
Exactly, because when I dealt with abuse, physical, sexual, and mental, I went to people about it. I told people about it. Yeah, I stayed in it longer than I should have, but it was because, like, again, I was struggling with a lot of it. And again, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make it about me or anything like that. I apologize for that. But, you know, it just kind of I'm just kind of trying to cross-examine it, if that makes any sense. But, you know, it's just, you would talk to someone about it. You would do something. But no, she didn't. That's another thing that's suspicious about the whole thing. You're just playing the victim card here. That's just what you're doing.
She had lived in this country for over 30 years prior to the crime. She is as much of an American as I am.
That's right.
In my life, I developed a culture of optimism.
She's actually from Vietnam, by the way, but I know that doesn't matter. But just in case you're wondering, that's where she's from, but whatever.
In other words, no matter what happened in my life, I felt that as time went on, I would experience a better and happier life. I did not worship or want to bring back the past. I looked forward to the future. I looked forward to a better quality of life in my modest way than I had had before, or at least the opportunity to improve my life. The flame of that optimism was extinguished on July 11th, 2011. I didn't know it at first, but what the convicted did to me was douse my optimism about finding true happiness. She murdered my hope to love someone again and perhaps, just perhaps, find the partner I could share the rest of my life with. She must be so proud of herself, having destroyed a person's simple dream.
Yeah, she should be. And I hope she fucking rots for it. I hope. You know what? You know what would be true justice? You know what would be true justice? Do you know? Okay, you know, I know. I sound like a brute when I say this, but I really don't fucking give a shit. You know, think of it this way. What if something like that happens to her? Imagine if, everybody knows about female genital mutilation, right? Imagine if someone in her prison did that to her. Then she'll know how it feels. Imagine if someone did that to her. Just imagine if someone did that to her. That would be an example of where that day would have this guy's name sticker on it. Because that would be do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Jesus fucking Christ. I know I love covering I love stuff about like law and stuff like that, stuff like this. You know, topics like this are right up my alley, but Jesus fucking Christ, shit like this just pisses me off. It just makes me want to hit the fucking ceiling. Oh, Zach, why do you get yourself in these situations?
I now struggle with what is before me. She has torn off my identity as a man. She has caused me to question my belief in God. She has caused my doubt in my belief in good. I have lost my sense of community. She has betrayed my trust in people. I have to learn a new way of life. My right to the pursuit of happiness has been robbed. She took that right from me that night, and now I must create a new way of fulfilling that right in my life. This was not an act of war. This was not some horrible accident. This was not the result of some terrible disease. This was a cruel and calculated violation of a person's body and mind. This was the product of vengeance, vanity, and jealousy. This despicable act not only tortured me, but tortured and caused pain for my family and friends. I am not perfect.
And for everybody here too, including people who are watching or listening to this.
But I'm not a bad man either. No one deserved this. I would hope that in the name of justice, the court brings punishment to the convicted in such a way that I will never by chance meet this person on the street for the rest of my life.
Which should have been, she should have got life with no chance of parole. That would have been the only fitting punishment for her. I'm just saying this as I'm just randomly just cleaning my glasses here, but no, seriously. I hope he never has to. And you know what? He should get a restraining order against her. He honestly should get a restraining order against her. And I hope that if she does bother him, because think about it, if she is, think of it, in the unlikely event she does get parole, she'll have to be on parole probably for the rest of her life. Because a life sentence lasts for life, so think of it that way. I'm sure one of the parole conditions are going to be, she won't be able to have contact with this guy. And I'm sure if she does, she'll go right back to prison. And I just hope she does it and shoots herself in the foot and ends up right back in fucking prison.
And that this person not have an opportunity to commit acts of violence to anyone else. Feeble Bryson wrote a painful song about love and life. In it are these lines that describe my situation. Can you stop the rain from falling? Won't you chase my clouds away? I'd give anything to see the sun again. I can't face another day. Can you stop? Can you stop the rain? For me, as long as I am on this earth, the rain can never stop. Thank you, Your Honor.
Wow. That was a brilliant testimony. That was a brilliant testimony by this guy. Look, I'm saying this as an agnostic, but God bless that man, seriously. I really hope that this guy does manage to find some peace out of this. And in the unlikely event, if he ever does come across this video, or anybody in his family does too. Because I really feel for this. I really do. So, it's already 27 minutes long, but we'll go for a little bit longer. Let me try to find because I found a few articles where she actually said that he deserved it. Or some shit like that. And look, I know it's Wikipedia, and look, I know Wikipedia is not exactly a very trustable source because any fucking person can get on here and actually go in here and edit that shit. I think, let's see. Alright, there are a couple more videos I'm going to play, and then I'll probably... convicted woman, let's see... Oh, here it is, from this one article from IB Times. Kieu drugged her estranged husband, a 60-year-old husband, by stuffing sleeping pills in his tofu. She then screamed, "You deserve it," and cut off his penis with a 10-inch knife. Oh, yeah, right. Jesus Christ. Bitch, you know what you deserve? You deserve every bad thing coming your way. You deserve the death sentence. You deserve a life sentence. You deserve a life of just suffering in hell. You do. And you want to know another thing that fucking pisses me the fuck off? When there's all these people making jokes about this type of shit. Because I guarantee you, if this happened to a woman by a guy, nobody would be joking about this. Everybody would be saying, this is evil, this is horrible, and everything else. No, the same thing goes for guys who do this to women. Same thing. But see, because of the problem is, people don't take issues like this seriously enough. And people laugh and think it's funny, including on the talk, too. And I also have a video here. Catherine Kieu castrates husband. Women laugh. Let's just play this and hope I don't hit the fucking ceiling.
Yourselves, because we're about to go there, because this woman allegedly did. According to the Orange County DA's office, Catherine Kieu Becker is accused of cutting off her husband's penis with a knife, taking his penis and throwing it into the garbage disposal.
How the fuck can anybody sit there and laugh at this and think that this is fucking funny? And again, if this happened to a woman, nobody would be laughing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to have to go there with that shit, but I'm serious. That just pisses me off because this just shows that with the PC culture and everything, this ever-growing PC culture, they just think shit like this that happens to men is fucking funny. And it's not, and it pisses me the hell off. Because nothing like this should be a joke. And again, I'm not the type of person that's going to scream, oh, I'm offended or anything like that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, have some decency. Have some decency. Like, this is not something that you joke about. Yeah, there are certain things you just do not joke about. And this is one of them. I'm sorry.
Charged with felony torture and aggravated mayhem, police say Becker attacked him because he filed for divorce. She's being held. She goes, that'll teach him.
Again, not fucking funny. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. If you think this is fucking funny.
She is being held in a California jail while her husband remains in the hospital.
I bet you that those prison guards are wearing one of those things that Californians wear. Those metal cups.
Oh yeah, that the athletes wear.
Yes, yes.
Jock straps, cups.
Yes. I mean, I don't know the circumstances. I don't know why.
Yeah, you don't know the circumstances, bitch, so why don't you go read the fucking circumstances? It's called reading. It's called knowledge. How about you go read it? If you read it and you dived into the details, you dove into the details, my English. If you dove into the details, if you actually listened to his statement like I did just now, I don't think you'd be laughing. And what if this happened to your husband? What if that happened to your husband, or your son, or your brother, or your brother-in-law, or someone you cared about? Would you be sitting there laughing? Would any of these people here, would they be sitting here laughing and joking it up and everything else? If this happened to your son, your father, your brother, or anybody else in your family, would you be laughing? I don't think so.
He filed for divorce. I don't know what was going on between them. However,
maybe because she was a fucking psychopath. Maybe she was controlling. Again, if you really want to know about it and take it as a joke, how about you read the fucking facts? Jesus fucking Christ. People like this and people like Catherine Kieu make me question how the fuck has the human population lasted for this long.
I do think it's quite fabulous.
I mean,
can someone just slap this woman? Like, seriously. Like seriously. How is that fabulous? And look, I don't know that much about the show The Talk. I haven't really watched it that much because, again, I don't watch daytime television, really. But, look, I don't know if The Talk is supposed to be funny. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a... But, like... Again, how is this funny? And again, I don't mean to repeat myself or go back to this, but this just isn't funny. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. This isn't fucking funny.
Whizzing around the disposal. It's like hysterical. But however, I think I would have just, depending on why she cut it off. I mean, it does depend on the reasons why.
What difference does the reasons make? She did it maliciously. How can you do it by accident? Again, how can you do this by accident? This is not something that can be done by accident. Mutilating someone's genitalia, that's not something that can be done by accident. Oh my fucking God. What difference does it make what the reasons is? The reason she did it is because she's evil. She's horrible. She's an evil, horrible person with no morals. And he's just screwed up in the head. Case closed.
does it?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'll think of one. I would have just thrown it in the dog's bowl.
Why does the dog have to suffer?
I would stick it in your mouth and I'd have you choke on it, you fucking dumb bitch. Alright, you know what? I'm done listening to that. I swear to God, if I listen to that for another second, I'm gonna break something. Because that just pisses... I'm sorry, that just pisses me off. That just pisses me off. Again, if that was your son, or your husband, or your brother, would you be laughing and making jokes like that? I don't think so. You think that if that happened to one of my friends, or happened to my loved one, you think I'd be sitting here joking about that? No! As a matter of fact, if anyone did that to any of my friends or my loved one, they better hope that they don't ever get out of prison, because I'd be there waiting for them when they get out of prison. And I would have at it with them, whether they're a man or a woman. All right, I'm gonna play one more clip here, and then we're gonna like cut it, because because this shit is just really pissing me off. Like, just humanity in general is just pissing me off. I'm just.
A Garden Grove man is critically injured after being drugged and attacked by his wife. Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Denise Chua. Officers responded to a call at the couple's home on Flower Street Monday evening. According to police, that call came from the suspect. Officers found the victim tied to his bed and bleeding profusely from his groin. His wife, Kieu Becker, admitted to drugging him, cutting his penis off with a knife, and then tossing it into the garbage disposal.
I'm just going to say this. If he died, that would be murder. I'm just saying.
And he wakes up to find his wife had tied him to the bed, and at that point she is just about to cut his penis from his groin, and he wakes up at that moment. The wife made some statements to the initial officer saying that he deserved it, quote unquote.
He personally used a deadly
He deserved it. Bullshit! Bullshit! Fuck you, Catherine Kieu. Fuck you for acting like he fucking deserved it, for using emotional manipulation, okay? And trying to make yourself the fucking victim. Fuck you. Fuck you, evil bitch. Evil fucking bitch from fucking hell. You are the fucking devil's mother, I swear to God. Fuck you.
Catherine Kieu Becker appeared in court Wednesday for her arraignment and hid her face as she was assigned a public defender. She was charged with aggravated mayhem and torture, with sentencing enhancements for grave bodily injury and use of a deadly weapon.
It's hard to believe what would motivate a person to do this sort of thing. It's one of the worst things you could do to a person, short of killing them. I know a lot of people may joke about it, but it's a very serious case involving consequences both for the victim and the defendant.
The victim is currently recovering at the UCI Medical Center. Becker's bail was originally set at $1 million, but now she's being held at the Orange County Jail without bail. Her defense attorney requested a bail hearing, which will be held July 22nd, along with her arraignment, which was postponed. Becker faces a life sentence with possibility of parole if convicted.
She should never get the possibility of fucking parole. And again, if she does get parole, it's going to be an insult to not just him, but to every other person out there that has suffered something this severe. That will be an injustice to this guy and every person's, them, their family, everything. And even this district attorney here said, oh yeah, many people joke about it, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And it's not funny. It's just not funny. Serious. It's as simple as that. I hope Catherine Kieu is in prison the rest of her fucking life. She deserves to fucking burn and be buried in the prison system and every bad thing. If there are souls, if people have souls, she doesn't have one. If there is a hell, Catherine Kieu deserves to burn in the fieriest, most hottest, most humid, and most tropical equatorial part of hell that there is. If she ever goes from this earth, she will depart for warmer climes, if there are any. This bitch is fucking disgusting. She's a horrible person. And I really, really hope, again, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be playing around with objects here, but I'm just trying to do something to prevent myself from breaking something, because this shit is really fucking pissing me the fuck off. So anyways, I'm going to cut it here because it's already 40 minutes. But thank you for listening, guys. Hope you all enjoyed our topics today, and I will be covering more. This is another topic on Zach the Celtics Guy's channel. Link more news articles, and I'll get back to you guys soon. I'll be uploading more. God bless the poor man who had to deal with this, and I'll be back with more stuff soon. This is Zach the Celtics Guy. Take it easy, and there'll be more stuff on the way. Peace out. Bye for now. Jesus, why do I get myself in these situations? Anyway, bye for now. Fucking Christ.